So we've already outgrew our venue in the first try. Wonderful. I just wanted to let you know there's a water fountain outside, and I'll try to keep the water pitchers full. Please take care of your personal needs. We don't want anyone fainting tonight. We trained on the air, so it should be good. But anyways, I'm Melissa Granatino. I'm an engagement specialist here at Foundation Center. How many of you have been here before? Okay, I see my regulars. Welcome back. For those of you that haven't been here, we are a nonprofit. We are headquartered in New York. We have 5 regional offices. We're known for Foundation Directory Online, which is our database of 140,000 grant makers and 6.5 million grant records. So it's a great place to do research if you're looking for funding from foundations. What else? Our library is open to the public Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5. Oh, to prove my point why you need our big database. So there's 100,000 foundations in the United States. How many do you think have websites in 2017? Let's hear some numbers, like Price is Right. Wait, you've been here before, you can't talk. Okay, for those, how many? 50%. Do you have anything higher?
Functioning websites?
That's a whole other story. Okay, so you have 50%. Anything higher? 65. Anything lower?
27.
27. That was a really exact number. Anything else? 35. 10%. Right? So that's why you need us. So you can find them. And you can find all kinds of information about them, all the grants, application information. So come back and see us. We'd love to help you. Now I'm going to hand it off to Careers in Nonprofits. You don't have to use this. I thought it might help.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Sounds good. Okay, so I'm Lizzie Stone. I'm the Managing Director of Careers in Nonprofits. We're a boutique style staffing firm in the area. Who here has heard of us? Great, hopefully great thing. I'll leave it at that. So we do temporary staffing and permanent staffing. We're located right around the corner, but our reach is national. So if any of you are looking for a nonprofit or association job, feel free to reach out. As well as any clients in here potentially. Feel free to call us if you need any search needs in either category. My business cards are outside on the table, and we are also hosting a workshop on May 11th, I believe, at 5:30. Our president, Nurse Harrigan Pedersen, does career mapping. So it's a good opportunity for people to evaluate where they are in their career and where they want to go. It's a good self-evaluation exercise, so we hope you will attend. And thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. We hope this is a good opportunity for you to simply network with one another and learn a lot. And we'll be here if you ever need us. So thanks a lot.
Hello, everybody. Ooh, I think my voice is a little loud. I'm sorry. I just want to welcome everyone. I am here on behalf of 40 Plus of Greater Washington. I'm the executive director. How many of you have known about 40 Plus? Raise your hands, please. All right. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you, first of all, 40 Plusers, for coming. And I want to make sure that everyone knows a little bit about 40 Plus. Well, in 1939, imagine, just after the Depression, titans of industry, and I hope I'm not speaking too loud, titans of industry such as, here? Yeah. Tom Watson.
Yeah,
yes?
Even a little bit
okay.
lower. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Tom Watson. Who knows who Tom Watson is? All right, tell me.
He was the CEO of IBM.
A CEO, founder of IBM. JCPenney Retailing, which even though they're having problems right now, they've been in business for a very long time. Who knows Arthur Godfrey?
Yeah.
Yes? Arthur Godfrey is very well known, or was very well known in the entertainment industry. And Norman Vincent Peale, who knows about him? Yeah. The power of positive thinking. And that is why we are a fabulous organization, because these titans of industry have decided and developed a methodology to help people that are of a certain age or have great experience get back into the workforce. of course, this was a problem in the Depression, trying to get back into the workforce, and now it's still, as many of you know, it's still somewhat of a problem. So we want to make sure to give you the best opportunity to get the job that you deserve. We have a training course, and that training course is capped at a very small quantity of people so that there can be a lot of interaction between peers in the course and with the facilitators. We'd like to tell you a little bit more about it if you come to our Monday morning meetings. We have Monday morning meetings every Monday except for the great big holidays like Labor Day or Memorial Day, for example. But come and see what we're about. Monday mornings, please. It really is a great value. So in any case, I want to make sure that you know a little bit about who we are, and we're going to now introduce our speaker. Our speaker is someone that I truly admire. He is a guru of networking. How many of you know how to network? You feel confident that you can work a room? How many? Uh-oh. So we all know that there is a real need for learning how to effectively make your mark in the networking arena and walk into a room and make yourself known and get to know other people. And that is what Marvin Powell is great at. He has a networking group by the name of Coffee, Tea, You and Me that he has had for over a decade, correct? And that is how I got to know Marvin. And Marvin has taught people how to network for a great many years. So I hope you enjoy his presentation. And come on up.
Do I have to use this?
No.
What do you guys think? I don't want to mess up the AV audio visual guy, but I will be loud if I need to. Can we do that? Thank you so very much. Okay.
Your handouts, do you want to hand out your stuff?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. And who needs something to write with?
They all do.
Do you? They all do. We have folders that we're going to ask you, if we pass them around, to please give them back to us. They're not meant to be used in this scenario, so we hope that you will help us out, okay? So I'm passing out the sheets first. Take one and pass it around. I should have enough. 120 is what we got, so there should be, it's just one. Take one, okay? And it's front and back.
Some of you all have arms on your chairs. You could just use the desk thing. That's great.
So you know what?
Who needs something hard to write on?
Yeah. Raise your hand if you need something hard. Raise your hand if you need something. Okay, remember to do it backwards, okay?
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, while she's doing that, let me make a couple of apologies. Because I know you guys weren't expecting this. A guy was talking about networking who's an introvert. I apologize right off the bat. Because these things make me crazy. I'm probably going to leave here and pass out from all the energy I'm going to be trying to put out. Anybody feeling me? Anybody know what I'm talking about? But the reason... Oh, there you go. Knock me down. This is probably my hand.
Does anybody need anything to write on?
The reason why I'm going to share the things I'm going to share with you tonight is for a couple reasons. First of all, if I could do it, you could do it. With a fear of speaking, a fear of connecting and getting close to new people and all that kind of stuff, you know, I'd rather be sitting at home by myself, writing and talking about networking and training, creating training programs about networking, than actually going out and doing it. But I realized if you're going to be good at something, guess what you got to do? You got to practice, baby. You got to get out there and you got to try and make it happen. And you got to get over your fears of all this stuff now. I know it's easy for me to just say, get over it. I know you can't just get over it. Okay, let's be honest. This is something like, oh my God, I gotta meet new people. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? But you're gonna take some baby steps. We're gonna teach you all the right steps tonight. I promise you. And if you don't get anything out of today's workshop, you will get this. You need to have a plan and a strategy. I can't function without a plan and a strategy. When I sat down with Stephen Covey many years ago, he and my company flew me out to his ranch, and I sat down with him for like 7 days. And it me and like 3 other people. No, it was 7 of us. And we were just spending time with him. Everybody knows who Stephen Covey is?
Yes.
And what he left us with was just a phenomenal amount of information about not just how to be productive, but how to be better people, how to be better leaders, how to be more effective with each other as a human family, okay? Stephen Covey says, you're effective with people, you're efficient with things. So those of us who have been supervisors or managers or even directors, oftentimes you've had to lead by pushing around a lot of paper, logging people in and out of systems, getting them to confess to whatever they had to confess to in order for you to drop the hammer on them at some point in time. The reality is those systems, we now know, were ineffective. They force people to lie. They force people to fudge the numbers. They force people to create a false sense of reality, and that's not based on truth. And when we all know that we're all fudging the numbers, what do we really have faith in? It's impossible. So networking is a heart-to-heart thing. And I'm going to give you a definition of networking that I think really works. I wrote it, so if you have any problems with it, you can shoot me. It's my definition. Okay? Networking is the art and science of leveraging time, talent, and treasure of others in such a way as to create win-win relationships and ever-expanding possibilities. I'm going to read that to you one more time. I know you guys are trying to write and trying to keep up with me. So I'm going to keep repeating these so you don't have to worry about what did he say, Or if you know what? Maybe you grab your neighbor and go, what did he say? Because that might be some good way to communicate and connect, right? Networking is the art and science of leveraging the time, talent, and treasure of others in such a way as to create win-win relationships and ever-expanding possibilities. Now, that's the skill, that's the talent, that's the strategy. That's wonderful. But in order for you to use this skill, this talent that I'm going to help you figure out how to use, what do you need? Excuse me? I'm going to give you strategy. Strategy's easy. If Boo-Boo the Fool can do strategy, what do you need?
Opportunity.
Opportunity? What else?
A network.
Oh, you've been cheating. You're reading ahead, aren't you? You need a network. You need a network. What is a network? We all have them right now. There are people in our networks right now that we should be closer to. And if we were closer to them, there may be some opportunities and some possibilities for us to do things that we're not doing. But what's the problem? Yeah, I haven't called them in a long time. I don't know. It's just, he's my boss's boss's boss. And I only met him once at a function and so on and so forth. I don't know if I feel comfortable enough to blah, 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 blah. All that matters nothing. It doesn't matter. Because for your future, you have to use your existing network to build your future network. Now, I went to Kent State, and I majored in architecture for too long of a time. Until I woke up and realized, ain't no way I'm ever going to be hunched behind the drafting table for 10, 12 hours a day, doing little details and so on and so forth, because I discovered at college, I actually like people. I don't know how to handle them, but I know I like people. And so I need people. They can't just be hanging out with me and my drawings and my ideas and stuff like that. But the reason I wanted to major in architecture is because I wanted to be permanent. I wanted to be alive forever. I wanted to be like the builders of the pyramids. You know, that stuff, it ain't going anywhere. You know, they're still here. That's what I wanted to do. And I realized that, unfortunately, I'm not going to be an engineering, building type consultant, but I still have that mind, right? Strategy, building means a lot to me. So I'm going to talk to you a lot about that, because building your network of your future is something you have to do now so you can use it later. My Spanish teacher used to say, repitan por favor. It is something you have to do now so you can use it later. Something you have to do now so you can use it later. I love that now later commercial. That's fun stuff, man. Everybody heard now laters? I grew up on, right? If you grew up in the DC area, and now laters was the coolest thing in the world you could ever do as a kid. So it's important that you understand this, because people try to network and they try to use their network for what they want, and they haven't spent any time nurturing it. They haven't spent any time gathering the connections you have to gather and gathering the strength you have to gather. We're going to talk all about how you do that tonight. We're also going to talk about, what do you say? Just getting off the block. What do I say? Because, quite frankly, I needed a manual to teach me what to say this and then and say that and say that. Okay, all right now, then I have to follow step by step by step. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step process that you can never fail with. You just have to follow the steps. Now, how many of you are okay followers? I know it's hard. How many of you are leaders? Those of you all who said you were followers and not leaders, shame on you. And those of you who said you were leaders and not followers, shame on you. Because you can't do one without the other. You got to be good at both of those things. Very, very important stuff. Okay, let's talk about what a network is. A network is an open, diverse, synergistic environment of people that surround you on a daily basis. It defines, shapes, and creates your current reality in ways that only people can. No, your network is not, we're not talking about systems here. We're talking about people. We're talking about culture. We're talking about environment. Let me read it to you again. Your network is an open, diverse, synergistic environment of people that surround you on a daily basis. It defines, shapes, and creates your current reality in ways that only people can. All right, I gotta come out of the monkey suit. That's it. The heat's too much up here. Is it just me? Am I just hot? I know I'm smoking. Right? I lost a few pounds, so I think I'm hot stuff now. Okay. Very, very important stuff. If your network, anybody ever heard of a good old boys network? Anybody ever heard that term before? What is it? What do you think the characteristics of a good old boys network is?
Cigars.
What else?
Money.
Secretive. What else? Maybe wealthy. What? Powerful. Sports. What else?
Old
like-minded.
Closed.
Closed. Who said closed? Closed. What else is the problem for the good old boys network?
Male.
Probably homogenous. Right? Who said male? You said male. Probably, they're good old boys, right? They're old and they're boys. Got that. But there can be any group of network that are closed, been around for a long time, got a block of power and control. They don't want to share it with anybody else. Anybody know people that are in those kinds of networks? Okay. So what's the problem with getting into a good old boys network? You don't have an invitation? Okay, that's a problem. What else is a problem?
Like-minded.
You might not be like-minded like them? What else?
You have to get a referral or invitation.
Yeah, you don't just get in there. You got to get invited, right? What else?
Income.
That's their problem, right? Inbred, right? They're literally suffering from ideas. There can be no new ideas in a closed network. If they had any synergy, they had it a long time ago, right? And now they're just rolling on the way it used to be. Remember when? They're using those kinds of, oh, the good old days. They're using that kind of language and that kind of phraseology. Now, a good person, I love this guy. Dr. Maulana Karenga, who's the creator of Kwanzaa, said to me once in a group of settings, just very similar to this, but it was a bunch of students and we were all sitting on the ground pretty much. But Dr. Karenga reminded me of something. He said, everyone on this planet, every human being is an ongoing, unfinished project. None of us is a finished product. See, this is why I like working with 40 Plus and organizations like 40 Plus, is because they understand that, yes, old dogs can learn new tricks, right? Old tricks can be updated. Old tricks sometimes kind of sexy. You just got to make sure that you know how to communicate it effectively, what you bring to the table, right? Because if you have experience, you have talent. If you have talent, the question is, how do you get your talent noticed in the places it needs to be noticed, right? There are all kinds of executive recruiters, and they're telling you all kinds of garbage. I'm sure they are. Well, you gotta get XYZ certification, and you gotta do blah, 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 blah. And you gotta spend $1,000 on this, that, and that, the other stuff. Really? Anybody heard of the name Don King?
Yeah. Yeah.
What did he do? He's a promoter. A promoter of what?
Boxing.
Boxing what?
And actually,
Talent. He found boxing talent and put that talent on stage. Did the boxers have to figure out how to get paid? No. Did they have to create, phenomenal resumes and get certifications and all that kind of stuff outside of the license to become a boxer? Did they have to do all that?
No.
What did they have to do? They had to display their talent. And then somebody like a Don King could come around and go, wait a minute, I can make money off that kid right there. Right? And let me put him on stage. Let me put him in the big show where his talent can be appreciated and people can pay us for his talent. How many of you all need a Don King in your life?
Yes.
You do. If you don't think you do, I promise you do. Because there are a lot of people out there who thought they didn't need Oprah until Oprah blessed them with a little sprinkle of love. And now all of a sudden, we know who Dr. Phil is, right? We know who Dr. Oz is. We know who all these people are only because one person promoted them in the right areas at the right time, saw their talent, noticed it, and said, you're going to be able to Oprah family does. And you get a gift, and you get a gift, and you get a gift, and everybody. This is what talent can do, but you all have it. The problem is, you haven't figured out how to articulate it, and you haven't figured out where the promoters are. Because you need them to see it. These are people that you want to bring into your network. There are special people out there right now who can do wonderful things for you. They may be a part of a good old boys network right now. That's what we're talking about, right? You may need to break that out. You may need to open up that network a little bit. There's an illustration on your piece of paper that's in front of you. And there's 3 circles. What do you think those 3 circles stand for? This is your network. We all have a network. Now, actually, this is the perfect network. There are 3 tiers to this network, right? The circles are open for a reason. What do you think the reason is? Always new people can come into the circles. The circles, each one of them are defined by what is needed by the person in the middle. Now, who do you think the person in the middle is? Yeah, that's that person in the middle who doesn't know how to network. But they have a network they don't know how to use, right? But your network can get you to your future networks. So let's talk about the quality of an excellent network. We said it's open, right? We said it's synergistic. We said it's diverse. Without these things, your network sucks, right? If you have a network that's a closed network, or it's just me and my crew, It's me and my family, me and my peeps, right? This is a closed network. If there's no new people, no new energy coming into that network, bringing new ideas, new personality, new strategy, new techniques, that network is closed. So there's no new information coming in. What happens to a closed network over time? It stagnates and dies. There is no other happening. It must die. So I implore you, find some love for some millennials. Find it in your heart. I know it may be difficult, but we made them. We got to take responsibility for it. But the reason why I'm saying that is they know stuff that we need to know. They can do stuff for us that we need to have done. I bought, anybody got one? Where's my phone? I'm sure you might have seen, some of you all might have seen these before. What are these? These things, these phones, they're supposed to be smart. Anybody seen one of these before? I always have the oldest version I could possibly get away with. You know why? Because I'm a good old boy. I'm hanging on to the good old days. If I can have a flip phone and get away with it, yes, sir. I would still have it. You know what? That thing was hot, man. Fit right on my hip. Man, I feel like Captain Kirk. I flipped out those. Oh man, it was amazing. This doesn't do none of that sexy stuff. I can't even put it in the right. I gotta go find it somewhere. It's never, it's not what I need it to be. However, my wife texted me in the middle of this conversation and congratulated me for having this moment. I got that text to be able to respond to her. I can't do that with my flip phone. She now knows where I am. She knows I'm safe and sound. She don't have to worry about anything, because she keeps tabs on the husband. Smart woman. But the point is, new technology kids, my daughter set this thing up for me. So every time I need to do something, I go, Taylor, how do I get to my Fitbit? She goes, Dad, all you gotta do is push the green button right there. Push that green button. Okay, push the green. Oh, look at all that stuff. Okay, good. It's the website. It's a website in the phone. So it's very, very important that you take these millennials and you recruit them and you mentor them and you create a whole host of proteges who just look up to you. They don't have anything better to do except what you tell them to do. And it's beautiful because they grow out of having direction. Now, that's easy. It's easy to find a whole bunch of lost children, right, who need some help. The problem is recognizing that you also are lost children. And you need mentors. And you need people on your personal advisory council. And the only way to get them is to explore your current network for possibilities and learn how to take your current network to build that future network. So let's get into some of that stuff. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the mindset. Now, that's not going to work. That's not going to stick. My name is Marvin, in case you guys forgot, right? It's up there. I don't need to wear it. Okay. Networkers always have the right mindset. And what do I mean by mindset? You got to have the right value system in place if you're going to be a good networker. And you've got to be able to understand the principles that rule the networking game. So can anybody describe for me the difference between principles and values? Let me see me. Can I get any Kobeyites in the office, in the room? Anybody love Stephen Covey? Just me? What are the differences between principles and values?
Principles don't change.
You're cheating. You hush. Principles are universal, thank you very much, and they don't change. They were here before us, they'll be here after us. They will always be in effect. Now I've discovered some very, very serious networking principles. We're going to talk about it today. But now, let's juxtapose that. What are values as opposed to principles?
They're personal and they're different for different people.
They're personal. They're different for different people. You get to choose your values, don't you? And you get to choose even how you interpret your values, right? Like one of my values is being courageous. It's my number one value, right? Because I have to get over my introversion, my fear of public speaking, all that kind of stuff. So that's not me up top. Got to get there, right? So I'm courageous, but notice that's how I interpret it. Some people interpret that courageous value a little different. And for those people, you go, these people are nuts. Out there. I mean, I don't just jump out of planes. I don't need to jump out of planes. I don't need to bungee jump. I'm scared. I'm way too much and the strap might break. I don't need to do that. But people might go, well, now that's not being courageous. Well, that depends on how you define courageous, now, isn't it? Because I'm courageous enough to do what things that are outside of my comfort zone, but I'm not courageous enough to do things I think are crazy. You may beg to differ. You may go, well, it's kind of safe to do these types of things and so on and so forth. It's probably safer to do jumping out of planes than it is driving on the street down here in DC on a regular, consistent basis. In terms of safety level, maybe so. I don't care what the stats say. I think it's crazy, so I don't do crazy, but I do courageous, right? So your values, you get to choose. You get to pick and choose your values. And I've also found some great values that I think you should choose. There are some principles you must acknowledge. Principles work that way. You cannot ignore principles. What happens when you ignore a principle? Consequences will always be the same. Try ignoring the law of gravity. What's going to happen? You're going to fall. It's not will you fall. You will absolutely fall. And you will absolutely fall as soon as you stop believing that the law of gravity is real. Because then you'll jump and then you'll fall. That's what happens. Law of gravity. What goes up comes down. Must happen all the time, always will be, never change, right? So let's look at the mindset of networking. And we'll get into the principles and we'll get into all the sexy stuff. More is hot up here. The mindset of a networker is foundational to his or her success and is directly linked to the expression and adherence to the necessary principles and values. The mindset of a networker is foundational to his or her success and is directly linked to the expression and adherence to the necessary principles and values. Both principles and values guide and direct your behavior. Unfortunately, though, principles you don't get to choose. Values you do. Everybody with me on that? Anybody have any dispute? I mean, you're allowed to push back. I'm not good? Man, my mama was right. I can do anything. Okay. So there's a science that I told you about earlier, right? I told you there was a science to this and there's an art to this. And here's the science is related to the principles. If you understand the rules, you cannot fall victim to the tragedy of not understanding the rules. When the cop pulls you over, does he care that you don't know the law?
No, he doesn't.
No. He's not supposed to care. His job is to make sure that people who break the law get prosecuted, punished, or whatever that is, so they may think a little differently about breaking the law again. I'm going to have to give you the laws of networking. If you break these laws, don't be mad when you end up in jail. The science of network relies on core acceptance and understanding of the following 6 core principles. And they are, and I'm going to read them pretty fast, but I'll go back and read them again, don't worry about it. First one is teaming. Teaming. The principle of teaming. Second one is inclusion. That's my favorite one. The third one is emotional intelligence. The fourth one is proper fit. The fifth one is timing. And the sixth one is gifting. Gifting. Number 6 is gifting. So let's get into them. Number 1, teaming. What do you think I mean by teaming? Why is it important to have a teaming mindset when you're going to network?
Because you can't network by yourself.
There you go. Real simple. What happens if you try?
You're going to be having
You fail. You talk to yourself. We're sitting here to St. Elizabeth. We don't have St. Elizabeth anymore, I don't think. But we'll find some place to sing you. You don't want to you want to make sure that you're working with people who are talented, who have the strengths and the skills, and you know what those strengths are, and you fit together, and you're able to conquer. You're able to do something special. Houston.
Yeah.
What can you do better than most people, Houston? Cook. Outstanding. Houston can cook better than most people. What kind of stuff do you like to cook, Houston?
Well, on the job, I can cook everything.
I know you can do everything, but Houston, what you really feeling? What's the thing you really love cooking?
Italian.
Italian?
Yeah.
What?
Chicken.
The brother cooks Italian? Yes. Yes. Chicken parmesan, all that good stuff. Yes. Okay, so now, what do we now know about Houston? If you want to lay out some Italian food, you probably might need to make Houston fall in love with you. Right? Because if he does, he might lay some of that opportunity off on you. Right?
And a little bit more.
Oh, and there's more. So there might be some Italian meal benefit to just knowing Houston and having him in your network. Anybody here like Italian food? Raise your hand now. So now the next question is, how can you make Houston fall in love with you?
saying hi.
Okay, because you're going to need Houston to do for you what he already does exceptionally well. And the chances are, you probably can get Houston to do that for you as long as you do the right things for Houston. Right? Teaming. What do you bring to the table that Houston might want to use? Now, Houston, if there was somebody out there who could point you in the right direction to allow you to do your thing exceptionally well, what would that person look like? What would that person be? Who would that person? Could it be, I don't know, like a local celebrity that if they were just to give you a shot, that could be good for you. Can you think of anybody? Time out. Bad idea. You all. Who knows somebody in the room that if they wanted to, might be able to make something special happen for Houston in his career? Possibly. What's your name?
Labe.
Labe, who do you know?
His name is Giuliano Hazan. He writes Italian cookbooks.
Giuliano Hazan writes Italian cookbooks? And is he like a bestseller or something like that?
Yeah.
Awesome sauce. So, Houston, he may not want your food, but he may want you to prepare a special meal for his friend, just to see if he can impress him. Would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely.
What I just demonstrated to you folks is stuff that can only happen with networking.
Right.
There's no website that you can create to make that happen. All right? Now, I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Labe.
Labe.
Yeah, it's a
Because I can't see it out there. I can see his name tag. I'm horrible with names, so, Labe. So, you have to create the right language to make Labe fall in love with you, Houston. And want to extend himself enough to do this. But in order to do that, you got to know what Labe needs. Labe.
Yes.
What is your gift, Labe? What's your gift to the universe? What can you do better than most people?
Training young people to work in the environment.
Really? Houston? Could you use some young people to tutor every once in a while? What?
Yeah.
I'm feeling like there's a reason for you all to talk later on. Am I the only one who's feeling this? But guess what did I just do to create that magic moment? Finding out how they can help each other, how they can team up.
Reciprocity.
The law of reciprocity is real. Who said reciprocity? Bookmark that. We're coming back to that.
All right, cool.
Because there's an energy and something that happens with people. And there's a couple things I want to remind you of. We are all built to help each other. Every single one of us is built to help each other. I'll give you a perfect example. How many times has anybody ever experienced this moment? Somebody comes to you, all hairy and hopeless, trying to get directions to go somewhere. And you know exactly how to get them where they want to go. Who's had that moment? Lisa, how'd you feel about yourself in that moment?
I felt good being able to give that opportunity to someone.
Why?
Because the example there would be helping my mom save her house.
Okay. Who else raised their hand? I saw you raise your hand over there.
Me?
Yes, you. It was actually her, but she wants to be introverted right now. We'll pull her out later. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris. How'd you feel when a person asked you for directions or instructions or anything?
Felt good.
Why?
It makes you feel. It gives you a sense of significance and importance too.
We all want to do meaningful shit. But the only way we're doing something meaningful is if somebody asked us for the help. And we know for a fact we're helping them. No question. We know for a fact they ask us for help, ask us for directions, and we're like, oh wow. All you gotta do is go down here, make it left, and you need to go over here, make it right, and then you need to go down here. Oh, there's just 2 blocks that way, and you'll be right there. Look for the big red building, and you'll be right there. You know what? I'm going that way. You wanna follow me? I mean, isn't that kind of energy you have? When you know you can help somebody? Everybody works that way. Every human being functions that same way. So now how do you take advantage of that? How do you use that? Now, I'm not saying willy-nilly go around asking everybody for everything. That's ridiculous. That's the sales and marketing approach, bad approach for networking, all right? But you do have to get in conversations with people to figure out what they're all about, where they're going, what's up with them, what are their gifts, what are they specializing in. I already know I'm talking to later on because I got some things I want to do for kids. You know, so it's amazing. But if I didn't ask that question on the information, how would I know? You have to be interested in order to be interesting. If you're not interested in other people, you can't reasonably expect they're going to be interested in you. They're not going to find you interesting. Anybody got on a plane sometime, or a bus ride, or a train ride with a stranger and had some of the most wonderful conversation you ever had? To this day, you can't remember their name. But you know that conversation. You remember that moment, that feeling, because the name is not important. It's the connection that's important. And there's a science and art to that connection. All right? Just hold on. We're going to teach it to you in just a second. I want to put out just one of the principles. I don't have time to get into them all. I am going to get into some of the values too. So that's very important. The 5 values for networkers. There are many values that you might embrace on your way to becoming an excellent networker. But these 5 are my favorite. Number 1, the value of people. Number 2, the value of collaboration. Number 3, the value of patience. Number 4, the value of honesty. And number 5, the value of personal growth. All of these values are very, very important to understanding networking and how networking really works. If you don't like people, this is going to suck for you. There's some people who just, I don't do people. I do machines, I do things, but I don't do, some people just can't do people. And some of that is because they don't know how to value people. Some of that's because they never learned how to value people. But you must value people if you're going to network. It doesn't work any other way. Because that means if you don't value people and you're talking to somebody, you know who you're talking to them about, you. And the biggest golden mistake, if you heard of people talking about networking all the time, and they will tell you, the big question they want to ask is, how can I help you? 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 How can I help you is the most selfish question you can ever ask another human being. Why? What do you think?
How can I help you?
Right.
The focus is on me.
It's all about me.
Yeah.
How can I help you? I want to help you. How can I help you? And you think, oh man, but it makes people feel good to be helped and wanted. It's like, no. Anybody ever assaulted you with that question? Immediately you feel like, oh my, what? Whoa, time out. Wait. What makes you think I need help in the first place? What makes you think you can help me in the second place? And why would we even get into a conversation? I don't know you like that, right? I often compare networking to dating. And it is like that. If you pounce on somebody and say, listen, I'm trying to go to fourth base right now. How can we get there? Well, it's a legitimate question. But ladies, does that work?
No.
I don't know what you're saying. You're saying hell no. Because the reality is, if you don't prepare the environment or the conversation for what you want to ask somebody for, when you ask it for them, ask them to do it, it's going to be selfish, it's going to be self-serving, they're going to read right through you like a saran wrap. They're going to see right through it. Clear as the day, and this is going to be talk to the hand. They're going to figure out a way to escape from you as fast as is humanly possible. But you have to learn how to ask really good questions for people. That are questions that are meaningful and that are deep. Right? Because the superficial small talk, yeah, you might get into the conversation that way, but you got to quickly move from small talk to deep talk. I call it big talk. Because big talk is where the connection happens. We can talk about the weather, sure, fine. It's so boring. Yes, it's been raining the last 4 days and it sucks. Okay, yeah, okay. Now what? You know, talk about something meaningful. Family, occupation, recreation, success. These are things you can talk to people about all the time, and it will never fail. You will always, they'll fall in love with you if you just ask a question. Back to that example of personal training, the reason why you like that personal training is not because you were talking so much, or you might be talking a lot, because they were asking you a question, they were actually interested in you. That's what happened. You're like, oh, yeah, and this happened, and then that happened, and next thing you know, even those people who think you're quiet, you became chatty Cathy on that train. All right? It's important, because the last rule I'm going to give you about this, and we're going to get back to our notes. Human beings, all of us, suffer today from attention deficit. Mm-hmm. None of us get enough attention. We're like flowers. You know, just give us a little attention and like, woo, look at all the magic that can happen. But if you don't give us that attention that we need, then you're not going to get us that bloom that you want. We're not going to smell for you. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do the dance for you. It's not going to happen. You got to give us the attention. Okay, so back to one of my favorite values is collaboration. Okay, so leadership hierarchies, if you didn't know this in America, are shrinking. Organizations used to be like this big pyramid org chart. Now they're flattening, right? So leaders can no longer just dictate to people about what they want them to do. They have to collaborate with them to make things happen. I like that. Because that means they have to learn to communicate with people. They have to work with people. Collaboration is a with people thing. It is not a to or on or, it's a with people thing. So I'm like, there's no my team, it's us, it's we. There's no ownership to people in a collaborative model. If you can't think like that, if you can't grasp that concept, you'll be a horrible networker. Because what you're really looking for when you communicate with people, yes, you're looking for opportunities to help them, you're looking for opportunities for them to help you, but you're looking for ways to create meaning in their lives and in your life. In order to do that, you have to have quality conversations. And you got to extend those quality conversations to other places. You have to continue the conversation after the big function is over. You got to go out and have coffee. You got to go out and meet with each other. There's a paradigm that I learned. There's a book I'm reading right now, so I don't know this as well as I should. It's called The Like Switch. And it's built on the interrogation tactics of the CIA. How do you flip a double agent? How do you get somebody who was an agent for another country and convince them to be a double agent for you? Can you imagine how difficult that might be?
Yeah.
Somebody who's loyal to their country and you can flip them into a loyalty to you personally, that's what the light switch is all about. If you get a chance to read that book, you should. But one of the things they mention is there's a model for this. You have to be frequent with people. And you can't just be what we had, I see you next week, I'm not going to see you again, ever. That's not going to work. You have frequency. There's ought to be an increasing intensity. So as you create more and more dynamics for relationships, you got to get more and more and more and more and more out of it. It's very, very important. If you don't have intensity or frequency, you're done, right? There's also got to be some level of productivity in the relationship. Relationships that are not moving forward, relationships that are stagnant, you got, some of you will have these kind of personal relationships where, you ain't seen your significant other, really seen them in a minute. Because you all been taking each other for granted for many, many years. And now it's just, oh, that's him, oh, that's her, yeah, okay. Whatever, what's for dinner? You don't want that kind of relationship because that's just a closed network. Now, I'm not saying bring other people in your network. I'm saying bring ideas in, right? So I don't want anybody go me. Marvin said, what have you done for me lately? I don't want to have none of that drama going on. But it's very important that you bring new ideas into this thing and try new things that you haven't done before because it gives you different perspective and it allows you to continue your growth, right? Very, very important. All right, so I was going to go through the 9 steps, but I don't have time for that, and I'm not going to do it. The 9 steps, though, are a strategy that will teach you, step 1, from the time you meet somebody to the time you even close on a deal or close on an opportunity to work with you or be a part of your team or be whatever that is. How do you recruit them? How do you talk to them? All that kind of stuff, that's in the 9 steps. But what's beautiful about that, I'm going to send that to you. Because that's a 55-page training manual.
Wow.
Right? And it starts from how do you meet somebody for the first time, what do you say? So how do you get them to be on your advisory council? How do you get them to work with you as a mentor for you? I was at 40 Plus a while back ago, and a gentleman told me, I have a hard time getting mentors. And I said, why? He says, well, everybody asks to be my mentor, and they say no. They shoot me down. They ignore me. They give me the shove off. I said, if I could tell you really quickly how to fix that, would you do it? He said, yeah. Guess what I told him?
Stop asking.
Nah, you guys are just surface level.
Offer it first.
Stop asking for the wrong shit. Because nobody wants to be your mentor. Everybody would love to talk to you briefly about their experience and what they've learned. So if I ask you to, could you spend just a few minutes with me? I want to get to understand, because your experience seems to be really, really amazing in this particular genre, especially with cooking, Houston. Would you be willing to spend a few minutes with me, just, not imposing or anything like that, just a few minutes with me at some point in time in the future, at your whim, whatever's more comfortable for you, to just talk to me about what you're doing and what you really learned from what you're doing. Would that be okay? Sure. I just asked Houston to be my mentor. You're feeling me, people. I need you to understand. Stop trying to shortcut the communication and not communicate. You got to use more words. More meaningful, more valuable, more passionate words. If you don't, you're not Nike yet. You don't have a brand where you can just put a swoosh up and people will get it. And go, just do it. Right? You're not there yet. But in order to get there, you gotta continue to communicate, put your message out there in a many powerful way. Now, what I am going to do for you, I know I skipped through the 9 steps, but I am going to show you how to tell magnificent stories. Why is this important? To be able to tell good stories in networking. What do you think?
You want to be a network.
Who said that? You heard me speak before?
I have.
He's cheating. All my 40 plus people, stop cheating. Let them learn, right? Okay, there's 5 elements to a perfect presentation. I don't care if you have 30 seconds. I don't care if you have a minute, 2 minutes. I don't care if you have a 20-minute dialogue. If you get these 5 elements, and they're really simple, you will always be able to tell wonderful stories that attract you to people that you want to be attracted to. All right? If you get this wrong, you're going to repel people. Now, here's why stories are so important. Before we could write, before we could read, before we could draw, before we could play the drum, we told stories. And we communicated generation to generation to generation to generation of fine details through stories. How many of you all still know the story of Jack and Jill? Who can recite it? Who thinks they can recite it? You can do it. Try. Go. I'll help you. Went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. Went to bed to mend his head with vinegar and brown paper. I never knew why they could use the vinegar and brown paper. I don't know anything about it. Why do I still know that story?
Song.
Not only was it sing-song and rhyming and stuff, but somebody taught that to me when I was 3 years old, and I was fascinated. Why is Jackie doing that here? What are they doing? Who is Jack and Jill? Why are we talking about them in the first place? Why was that? But here's the point. Stories stick to people. You can remember those, and you can repeat them. If you want your message to stick, for people to remember you, and then to tell your stories in other places where you need them to be told. You want your message to go viral, right? Cynthia, you want to infect me with your story, and you want me to go out and tell everybody else. Oh my God, if you haven't had a chance to meet Cynthia, let me tell you about Cynthia, and then I'm going to repeat the story that you told me. But if you didn't tell me a good story, I'm not going to remember. If you bored me to death with facts and details, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this, you give me a laundry list of a whole bunch of technical jargon and terms that I will never remember, I'll make me somebody go, I found somebody that you need to talk to, but I can't let you even meet her, because if she bores you like she bored me, she's going to make me look bad, and I can't have it, right? So, but this is what's happening to people that you want to network with. If you're not helping them figure out how to make you look good, then they're making you look bad, or worse yet, they're not representing you at all, right? So here's the format to a great story. 1, it must have impact. 2, it must have drama. 3, there must be a heroism. There must be a hero to save the day. 4, there must be vision. And 5, there must be recognition. Now, it happens to happen in that linear fashion, in that linear order. If you get the order mixed up, you're going to mess up things. So let me tell you why drama works, or impact works. Impact is character development. What you are doing when you tell a story, you're developing the character first. You're making people think of people that they know. You're making people get close to and start to understand and identify in their mind people that are like the character that you're about to tell the story about. So all you need is 3 basic demographic descriptions. All right, so what's your name?
Alejandro.
Alejandro. How old are you, Alejandro?
27.
You're 27. Where do you live?
I'm in Latvia, by the way.
Wonderful. Welcome, Alejandro. He's outing himself. He's 27. He's Alejandro. Where do you live?
I live in Denver, Colorado.
Denver. You married?
I'm not.
No kids? He's single, by the way. All right. So now, this is a story about a 27-year-old kid named Alejandro. Lives in Denver. Happened to come here to the Washington metropolitan area. All right? So now, what I just did for you is I made you think about people that you know. Alejandro, that's an interesting name. I know some people. I wonder if he's Hispanic. I know some people who are Hispanic. That's what your brain's going on your brain right now. 27. What's he doing here? All right now, because the character development helps you start to think of people that fit in your world. You start to narrow it down. Like, oh, okay, they're about that. They're doing that. They're doing that. And this character stuff development, demographic descriptions are things you can see about a person. Or know about a person for sure. Not feelings, not emotions. Okay? Now, we need some drama. We need some drama. All right? Alejandro, your trip from Denver here will be a miserable failure if something doesn't happen for you. What is that?
Be able to connect with people for me to create the message that I want to develop. And Move forward.
Okay, that's a fact. What's the pain? If you can't make these connections, Alejandro, if you don't do it, what's going to happen? What's the potential? What's the worst damage that could possibly happen? You still be able to feed your family? Or yourself?
Yeah.
Would your career progression get stalled, possibly?
Possibly, yeah.
Your career progression might get stalled? Oh my God. So if your career progression gets stalled, it's going to take you a long time to do some things you want to do, right?
Correct.
Like what?
Be able to run for office one day.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So literally, listen guys, this is important. If Alejandro doesn't make these connections, we may lose the opportunity to have a wonderful state senator or congressman or the president, maybe, right? And just because you won't even want to talk to him. This is painful, right? Drama has to be there. Has to be there. If there's no drama, we can't connect to it emotionally. Right? Must be. Tearjerker. Don't say, well, I'll just move on to the next person. That's not drama. But drama is, poor Alejandro came all the way from Denver to Washington Metropolitan. He's trying to make some connections, trying to make some networks. He wants to get involved in politics in the future, and he needs to, it's important for him to make the right connections. Now, while he's here, if he doesn't, maybe his future canceled out. He's got to kill his dream and do something else. Is that sad or what? I'm feeling the pain. Poor Alejandro. Now, you also have to have, what's next? A hero. Somebody's got to save poor Alejandro. Right? Alejandro, if there's somebody we can introduce you to that you know for a fact could be really, really helpful to you in your future goal to get there to be in Washington. Would it be a state senator maybe or a congressman?
Sure, yeah.
Really?
Someone within the political spectrum.
Really? So let's just say somebody in the room might know Congressman John Lewis. And Congressman John Lewis is a fraternity brother of his. And Congressman John Lewis and him get together on a regular, consistent basis, talk about all kinds of details about networking and how business could work in the Washington metropolitan community. And he's sure he can arrange an opportunity for you to meet Congressman John Lewis someday in a meaningful way for you. Would that be something important to you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's one of my good friends. Love to introduce you. Now, but you have to be able, what's the hero doing? Making the connections for him. He wants connections.
Right.
Hero can make the connections. Right? That's a part of the story. So here came the hero, blah, blah, blah. I'm not the hero. Actually, Alejandro's the hero for being smart enough to accept my information.
Right.
Thank God for you, Alejandro. If you aren't smart enough to do this, we don't know where we can go. Right? So you need to have a hero, right? Next thing, you gotta have vision. Alejandro, you're looking for more people like me that are connected to congresspeople. So Alejandro would say, I'm looking for more congressmen, senators, and judges in the Washington metropolitan area. That chief of staff, right? Thank you. He's right. That might be able to move me in the right direction and introduce me to the right people. How many of you all know somebody right now who either works for a congressman or senator or a chief of staff somewhere? Alejandro, I want you to look around the room. Raise your hand high. Don't be mad. I'm not going to take you to task. If you know somebody, raise your hand. Look at these people. The question, Alejandro, is how can you make them fall in love with you? Because they must love you, or nothing's going to happen, right? But they may talk to you later on in the networking portion of the meeting, right? Okay, now recognition. That is the only time people give a you-know-what about who you are. That is when you say your name, the name of your company, what you do. Alejandro, who are you?
Alejandro Flores.
Uh-huh. You have a company, or are you independent contractor, or are you just a solo job seeker?
Let's say solo job seeker.
You're a solo job seeker, and what do you do really well, Alejandro?
Be able to run a campaign for Latino communities.
He's a Latino community advocate. This is Alejandro, ladies and gentlemen. That is when you care. Because if he starts off saying, hi, my name is Alejandro, I'm a Latino community advocate, and I want to talk to you about what I do and so on and so forth, what you can do for me. Bad idea.
Yeah.
But if he tells that story, that's going to be sexy. It's going to be nice. Now, I have a whole bunch of examples and stuff like that I'd love to give you, but we're out of time. And I don't want to waste your time. I want you to learn how to network. So it's very, very important. How do you introduce yourself when somebody asks, what is it that you do? Don't start with your name. Don't start with your title. Identify the person or company that's going to be most effective in terms of what you do. Like if you are a job seeker and you have a certain skill. Like Ron, where's Ron? You still here, Ron?
Yeah.
Ron told me earlier that he was a program designer, a program
diagnostician.
He does program diagnostics. He looks at the computer, figures out what's going wrong with that damn thing, and he'll help you figure out how to move the software in the right directions and so on and so forth. Right? Do companies need that?
Yeah.
As a result of what he does, what can companies do better?
Software.
And as a result of doing better software, what can companies do better? As a result of functioning, what can companies do better? As a result of making money, what can companies do better?
Serve their clients.
As a result of expanding, what can companies do better?
Hire people, increase profitability.
Hire more people, increase profitability, all these wonderful things. But the benefit of what Alejandro does is companies can know that they have the best software products out there that actually function the way they promise that they're going to function. And they never let their customers down. That's the benefit of what Ron brings to the table. You get what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So you got to know what's your benefit. Because of you, what can happen? Mm-hmm. Companies get to feel safe when somebody like Ron is at the helm, watchdogging that program, making sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do. And if it's not, he can find it. And like, okay, he goes, bring me an alarm. Hey, somebody come fix this. This ain't working right. Right? Am I right? That's what he does. He's not just a program diagnostician. The savior of a software company. And if you don't get that, then if he doesn't get that, right, he won't know how to represent himself well. He won't know what to tell people. I save software companies. Ooh, how do you do that? You open with that benefit, right? Always think of this. I do what for whom? What's the benefit and who receives the benefit? Ron saves software companies from themselves. Now you can ask him how, and he can tell you for 5 or 6 minutes about how. But the reality is that's the benefit of him. Anybody by the way have a software company? Just checking, Ron. Okay, guys, I'm done. But I'm going to be hanging around with the whole goal for tonight is for you guys to network and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to be hanging around. Please ask me any questions. I have a lot of programs that I want to email out to you. So if I don't get your email address or the business card or whatever, you need to talk to me so I can get your information so we can send you put the email the distribution list. Thomas, I won't hound you because there's too many people for me to ever talk to. I'm going to send you one email and that's all it is. You won't hear from me ever again. Fair enough?
Should we send you an email? Would that be an easier way for you to
No. That's the fastest way to get me to go with you.
So if you didn't sign in,
It makes sense.
Sign in, we don't have your email address. So talk to one of us, the blue table at the front.
Yeah, I'll give it to them, and they'll give it to you. Perfect.
We'll email all things.
So make sure I have your card anyway.
This wouldn't be a networking night without prizes. So we have a few things. So the first thing is a lovely gift bag from Careers and Nonprofits.
Me.
And we randomly pick names, and the winner is Amber Coleman. Are you here, Amber? Nice. All right. The next thing is it's a 1-hour coaching session with like the guru of careers and nonprofits.
Which is not me, but you'll get my business card. the meeting, so that's what you're going to get.
And our winner is Steven Sullivan. Are you here? Nice. that most foundations don't have websites, and we have this great database that you can find them. So you can find them here at our library, which is open 11 to 5. And we also have partnered with a bunch of different universities and stuff. You can see on our website that you can go there and use their computers, and they have it. But if you want to use it in your own home, it's a subscription. I think it starts at $49 all the way up to $199. So we're giving you 24 hours of free access. So you can be in your pajamas at 3 in the morning thinking about foundations. So we have 2 of these. And our first winner is Lindsay Ritchie. Are you here? Congratulations. Thank you. And our next winner, Mary Flood. Mary Flood. Well, thank you all for coming. So we opened up the library since there are a lot more of you than we expected. So we're going to go in there and network, and Marvin's going to be around, and we'll all be here. So thank you again for coming. Thank you.